take the most important part of your scene and draw one image to it, and then have that be pinned up on a board, or that's your bullet point of that scene, and then go on to the next one. That does a couple things. It gets you to move quickly. And I think that's important so you don't get in the weeds of focusing on one scene. You can do that one drawing that to you explains what it's about. Don't worry about pitching it yet, or that drawing conveys to 5 other people what it thinks. It has to convey to you what you like about that scene. Then forget it. Move on to the next one. Do that for, say, 5 scenes or whatever, and then take a step back and look at it. And then get your friends to see it or whatever. And then I'm always interested after doing that to see whether somebody looking at just that single drawing for each scene, what do they think the story is about? And ask them, what is this about? You'll learn what you conveyed through that single image.
So I encourage you to, on your first viewing of a movie, just enjoy it. But then go back and watch it and analyze it and break each scene up by its shots, figure out what the shots are. And if you have the ability, then grab those film files and cut them up, literally cut them up and try to rearrange the shots. See what that does to the scene and put it back together and figure out why the filmmaker put the film together the way they did.
I mean, back when I was in film school, before there were DVDs, we had these giant laser discs, and those were the very first opportunities that people had to listen to the director talk about the film that they had made. And luckily, that's a convention that's stuck around all these years later on DVDs and Blu-rays. And I just think it's a wonderful way to get inside the filmmaker's head and hear them talk about the challenges they faced making a movie, the ideas that they had, what they were trying to express, where they might have failed. A lot of directors will talk about misgivings they had or regrets that they had about that perfect shot they just weren't able to get. And that's all fodder for learning about film grammar and learning about the politics of running a film set or working with a film crew. Because that's all important stuff. It's not just about knowing film grammar and knowing how to make a film, but oftentimes it's knowing how to best work with the crew that you're working with and how to kind of bring out the best in the people that you're collaborating with.
When I first got to Pixar, there's that feeling like this is the best place for storytellers, and it is the best place for storytellers. But I feel even to this very day that I shouldn't be here. Like, I always feel like I'm not by myself. I'm not at that level. But the trick is, no one here is. Everyone is helping each other to tell those stories. And that's the part they don't tell you in the beginning. You have to know your craft. You have to know those tools that you're developing. And you're constantly developing and honing those tools. But everyone here is supporting each other to tell those stories.
You know, I've been at this for almost 25 years now at Pixar, and anytime I start a new project, it's just as difficult as the first one way back when. We've been telling stories in our culture for a very long time, for at least a couple thousand years, and that storytelling never gets any easier. You can take seminars, you can learn about screenwriting, you can learn about story structure. But typically, the people teaching those classes aren't actually making anything themselves. Sometimes it just takes getting down into the trenches and making lots and lots of mistakes and doing things wrong before you can start to do things right. It can be enormously frustrating, but it's also enormously rewarding when it all goes well.
And a shout out to all you female filmmakers out there. Keep on going. We need more girls in the field.